welcome back to FlipBricks. Today I have a smaller setup for you, and it is 343 Guilty Spark from Halo CE. Yet another CE mission. Sorry guys, I will start doing more games sooner. But for now, I'm on a Halo CE fix, so without further ado, this is my 343 Guilty Spark mini diorama. So starting with the turret, this is just a really weird build all around. Like I know we have other shades, but like I had a really hard time figuring out how to make the combat evolved version. So this is what I came up with. Now it has like a very weird propped up front turret area, so I had to use a seat for that, and it actually replicates the shape in game pretty well. I've built it on a swivel. It is a little loose here, but the way that I built the bottom was rather difficult, but I managed to get the game accurate shape. I wish I had purple pieces like this, but this works for now. Now, most of the shade turret sets have a set of handles on them. I didn't get around to building that because it was rather difficult to find a concept that would fit into the seat that while still using the same technique I used to build the turret. But it just sits in there perfectly, and I think it turned out pretty well. And another thing, I didn't really have trouble like actually configuring the build itself. It was what the colors that I was working with. It was rather hard because of the pieces that I had. Now, if you guys want to replicate this, I used mainly parts from the Phantom dropship, and you'll see where the rest of the parts of the Phantom went after I show you my next video. But the rest of the base was built using a couple of hinges that I got from somewhere else. Also, the swivel, I believe, came with a different set. And the legs are made of the Covenant barricade from the Revenant versus, well, I think it was just called a Revenant set, but it had a bubble shield in it and all that jazz. So the first of the figs that I chose for this setup is the Grunt Major, or Spec Ops Grunt. We don't have a Spec Ops Grunt mold, so I had to settle with a red colored Grunt, and that's kind of what they do in the original Halo, is mainly just different armor colors. They did have a curly back one, but we also don't have a mold for that, so this is what I'll have to do, or make do with. You'll see that he is running in terror, and that is because of the next figure that I have in store, which is my custom Flood Elite. Now this Elite in particular is using no paint, no modifications, is all strictly bricks. I did do a really weird thing with the arm here, but I'm about to show you here in a sec. I used the Flood Blob from Captain Keyes, and this is a Halo 5 343 style Elite Miner body with a plasma rifle, and I also used the yellow technique on the arms again. But let's get to the fun details here. I used 3 Elite arms, and I'm not sure what to call this bar piece, but I can fully pose this Flood arm however I want. And I just think it turned out amazing. It still resembles the claws. It can go as high as I want it to. Make it look like it's swinging. You can really get some gruesome, contorted poses, and that's just really what the Flood are all about. But yeah, when I first got my Captain Keyes figure, I wasn't sure what I was going to do with this Flood Blob. I knew I wanted to make some combat forms, but I just couldn't figure out how, and this is what I finally came up with, and I hope you guys really like it. I hope to see you guys replicating it in the future, and let's move on to the next part of the diorama. So at first I wasn't planning on building 343 Guilty Spark, but I was just messing around with some parts that I had from a Pokemon set, which is, as I keep mentioning, Cyndaquil versus Chikorita. Now the green grass that they include in the set is a lot brighter than most, and the swamp had a lot of different shades of green, so I went with this. This is actually my favorite mission from Halo Combat Evolved, but it really took some brainstorming to get this to actually make it look like it's Halo. First off, I chose to include some swampy, murky water, and the plants are also included with the Pokemon set, so I used those to make it look a little bit more vegetated. The parts that I used for the water are from, I'm not sure which line it was, but they are from the Heroes figs, the bases. Sorry for the print here on the side, but I mean, what are you gonna do? I also wanted to include one of those weird bulbous plants that are around the swamp. Now this rock here, you can definitely tell it's from the Pokemon set. Now I kind of kept the build the same-ish, so you can actually still crack the wall. But I mean, that wasn't a feature I planned on including, I just wanted the brighter color of the rock. And for a final touch, I added a little bit of like Covenant wreckage to show that the Covenant aren't faring so well in the swamp here. Now, this isn't my favorite setup I've ever made, but it's close runner-up. Like I said, the Halo setup was my favorite. But I am super in love with creepy, horror-themed vibes. And the first Halo content that I ever picked up was actually Halo the Flood, so just a lot of nostalgia here. Let me guys know what you think in the comments below. Like and subscribe for more. Thanks.